Starting off our list today at number 10, we have she's an American. You want to know what every country has in common except for the United States? Well, apparently for some odd reason everyone hates Americans. While it's definitely rude to dislike someone based on where they're from, it still hasn't stopped people from stereotyping the actress into a certain category. When it comes to the Brits though, they have a strong dislike for Meghan, especially for this reason. Unlike the reception of the Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton, who belongs to an aristocrat British family, Meghan Markle received a cold and hostile reception, not only from the public but also from the royal family. While Meghan was born in America and comes from an ordinary background, she supposedly failed to meet the conservative criterions of the Britons, and this could be one of the reasons why everyone hates her. Number 9. Twisted family history. While the British royal family tends to maintain a clean and pure image of the monarchy, mostly because they pay media outlets not to run with their stories, the press has painted them to be innocent little angels. However, we all know that's not the case, as there's a lot of darkness when it comes to the royal family history. But recently, they have been painted to look like heroes that have a close bond and relationship with their other family members. Meghan Markle, on the other hand, has more of a twisted history when it comes to her family, as her approach to having a relationship with them is very unconventional. Not only has the ex-actor broken old ties she had with her father, but her relationship with her sister is also distant and remote. That being said, her relationship with her family doesn't meet the conventional requirements of the public, as we all couldn't stand it when she used the media to embarrass her father, and in the process, the way she chose to air out her family's dirty laundry, even if they weren't getting along, it just wasn't the right thing to do. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't have to wonder what we might just cover next. Number 8. The dollar store version of Princess Diana. Since Meghan and Harry sat down for their tell-all interview with Oprah, many people have weighed in on the debate and have claimed that the Duchess has attempted to garner sympathy from viewers by pointing out that there has been a lot of similarities between her and Princess Diana. But the fact she's trying to claim that she went through exactly what Diana went through is completely wrong, because each of their stories are different, and the fact that she's trying to become Diana is just as creepy as the time she admitted she kept Diana's hair near her pregnancy test. Meghan was definitely smart with the interview, because she knew that there was no better way to get viewers to empathize with her than suggesting suffering similarities to an icon of a global dimension. But even after the interview, from time to time we see Meghan recreating Diana's looks, and every time it's made us realize that her obsession with wanting to be Diana is just a little too much. Number 7. Candace Owens. On January 7th, American author Candace Owens would express her views on Meghan Markle after Meghan's husband started to make headlines for his book titled Spare. Just days after the couple appeared in a hit Netflix documentary, taking to Twitter, Candace would say, "Meghan's putting pregnancy tests next to the locks of Princess Diana's hair, plus asking for private moments at Diana's gravesite to speak to her are not things to laugh at." The author, who has more than 3 million followers, would also add that Meghan's moves were terrifyingly psychotic and manipulative actions. And she would then also note that Meghan is extremely dangerous. In past interviews back in 2021 following Meghan and Harry's interview with Oprah, Candace would claim that Meghan was lying about the royal family being racist and that Meghan was a narcissist. Candace would also claim that Meghan, when she said the royal family still had traditional ways, she disagreed and just opted to call them racist. Candace would also go on to say that you would not be able to discern just by looking at Meghan Markle that she's black, so she could claim that she had been a victim of racism, and that her and Harry were implying that everything happened to them is because of her blackness is a sickening level of scapegoating. 6. Controlling and bullying. Since the beginning, critics of Meghan Markle have consistently been accusing the Duchess of not only being controlling but also being manipulative, particularly towards her husband Harry. Whenever we've seen the two sit down for an interview, it's clear that she is the one that has a tendency to dominate the conversation, and she is constantly seeking to have the limelight all to herself. But not only that, but the staff who worked in the royal household and had to tend to Meghan have also complained about how they were bullied by Meghan, as according to a report that appeared in the Times, after emails that were written by a former Kensington Palace communication secretary named Jason Now has suggested that the Duchess has also displayed totally unacceptable behavior. In the end, Meghan would have her press team issue a statement about all the bullying gaslighting allegations, and since she's been trying to play that all this was leaked in an attempt to smear her name, but I don't think any of us believe that. She's just downright mean. Number 5. Making Kate cry. When Meghan dropped a handful of bombshell moments in her interview with Oprah back in 2021, she would refute a tabloid story that claimed she made Catherine, who is now the Princess of Wales, cry just days before her wedding to Prince Harry. And thanks to Harry's explosive memoir Spare, we finally know all the details that went down between the two ladies. Well, that's if Harry's story is actually true. With the Daily Mail initially reporting that Meghan had offended Kate during a phone call by saying Kate had a baby brain, Page 6 would then offer a different perspective of actually what went on when that rift started. And apparently it started after Kate texted Meghan about a problem with Princess Charlotte's Flower Girl dress. Harry would then revealed that the dresses were made by Givenchy's then creator-director Claire Waite Keller, and they were made solely on everybody's measurements, but because of this it was expected that everyone's dresses would need to have some tweaks done. Meghan then told Kate she could bring Charlotte to the palace where a tailor had been hired to do the alterations for all of the dresses, but this didn't sit well with Kate as she just wanted to talk to the Duchess, as Charlotte's dress was way too big, long, and baggy. And this is when it caused the royal to bust into tears when she tried it on. Kate then said all the dresses needed to be remade just 4 days ahead of the wedding, and even had to reach out to her own designer Alexander McQueen to clear her mind about saying so, and even this designer agreed with Kate's opinion. Number 4. Hypocritical. The Duchess of Sussex has played an active role in promoting various causes which include environmental, social, political, and anti-bullying. However, it has led to backlash in certain quarters, with some people claiming that she doesn't practice what she preaches. Examples of her alleged hypocrisy include: A. She bullied palace staff members by making them cry and quit their jobs. B. Extorting about the environment while flying around the globe in private jets. C. Claiming that she's very ordinary while spending lavishly on clothing and housings and living extravagantly. D. Gaining fame and wealth from her association with the British royal family while constantly attacking them. Meghan Markle isn't any of the things she stands for, which is honestly just sad, and it proves that we just can't trust anything she says, as the path she's on to self-destruction, and she acts like she's never even heard of King Midas, but she probably should take note from that. And number 3, we have Katie Hopkins. Back in 2019, Katie Hopkins would start a scandal that got the whole country talking about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle after she made comments about the couple's decision to step down as senior members of the royal family. The Daily Mail writer and media personality made it clear that she had no respect for someone like Meghan Markle. She would then make her first of many moves to prove her distaste for Meghan when she bashed the Duchess for being addicted to her Instagram page. Katie also became very vocal when she labeled Meghan as being an American version of Kate Middleton in a budgeted Princess Diana with an Oscar-winning innocent face. Her anger would then go furious after Prince Harry started to plead for his girlfriend's privacy with the press. Katie would then go off on her rant and say, if you don't want Miss Sparkle trolled on social media, advise her to stay away from posting pictures of bananas spooning on her Instagram account. Number 2. Social status. For someone who pushes an egalitarian agenda, Meghan Markle can seem at times to be excessively concerned with the social status of herself and her family. She seems to desire the standing that goes with being royal without wanting all the baggage that comes along with it. While Meghan has claimed that she doesn't want to be royal or have her royal duties, during interviews she has expressed how upset she is that her family wouldn't be given security, and that she was furious that when she found out her children, Archie and Lilibet, wouldn't be given royal status because the Sussexes were not working royals. Meghan's always wanted to be famous. That has been her dream from the start, and when her modeling career didn't work out, she turned to Deal or No Deal, and when that didn't work out, she turned to acting, and when her acting career turned out to be a major flop despite her role in the hit Canadian show Suits, when she found out Harry was single, she jumped on it and manipulated him into loving her, and as soon as she entered into the royal family, she got noticed, and she loved every part of it, but she knew she didn't want to be forgotten, so she started to stir the pot, and that's exactly what she did to get the level of fame she has today. And coming in at number 1 today, we have Against Royal Traditions. When it comes to her style, Meghan Markle has always had a habit when it comes to breaking royal traditions. With the Duchess loving dark nail polish, collarbone bearing necklines, and pantsuits, she has caused the media to go bananas every time she has gone against royal protocols, whether it's with her outfits or with her email schedule. Inside the palace though, the narrative is totally different. One thing that has come to light in recent years is that Meghan Markle does not shy away from listening to her heart, as she has gone on to marry into the British family to making a mega exit. And because this happened, she has been heavily criticized and condemned for breaking royal traditions. While there's definitely no book on royal etiquette, Meghan has chosen to do things a little differently, and in the process she has caused a lot of people to look down on her and criticize her for everything she does. Starting off our list today at number 10, we have leaving the royal family. So we all know living in the spotlight is never an easy thing to do, and when we saw Meghan Markle and her husband Prince Harry in 2020 release a statement informing people of their decision to step away from their roles as senior members of the royal family, we knew that this was the start of some major drama. However, apparently the couple's statements came before they even consulted or informed anyone in the clan, and in the process they even blindsided Queen Elizabeth about their departure. BBC would then report that no other member of the royal family was consulted before Harry and Meghan issued their personal statements, and that the palace was extremely disappointed. While some people were supportive of the couple's decision to build their own lives outside of the royal family, others were highly critical. And they even started to blame Meghan for causing a rift between the prince and his family. In the end, Meghan knew what she was signing up for when she joined the royal family, and if she wasn't up for the task, then she should have never married Prince Harry in the first place. Number 9. Ruin Harry's relationship with his family. Meghan Markle's narcissistic and manipulating behavior has completely destroyed Prince Harry, as after he got with the ex-actress, he totally changed. It's clear that Meghan has manipulated Harry into hating his family, and she's even caused a giant rift to form between the two families. In her attempt to ditch the royal family, she has gone up to make lies, expose secrets, and start drama just so she could get everything she ever wanted. Even Meghan's podcast and interviews being released around the same time of the anniversary of Prince Diana's passing was a little off, and it proves that she has changed Harry's mindset, as he has no courage to go up against anything she says, and he will even lie about his family in the process so it doesn't upset her, to the point Harry has become resentful and aggressive. Before Meghan entered into his life, he had an amazing relationship with King Charles, as they were both very compatible, and then she came in, destroyed it. And family's a very important thing. It always was to Harry, and Meghan knew if she wanted him by her side forever, she had to cause a rift between the family, and that's exactly what she did. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Number 8. Archie's controversy. For a while now, Meghan has been trying to claim that there has been several conversations from unnamed family members in the royal family that have talked about how it would be an issue if her unborn child at the time, Archie, was born with darker skin. With the claim starting back in 2021 when Harry and Meghan sat down for an interview with Oprah, Meghan would say that there was conversations about how dark his skin might be when he was born, and that their conversations were both relayed to her and Harry. However, the couple declined to reveal who was involved in these conversations because they said it would be very damaging to their appearance, and that they were also concerned at the fact when Archie was born that he wouldn't have the security or official titles. Since both have left the royal family, they have continued to claim that the family made biased opinions about Archie's skin color, and they never exactly provided proof or the names of the members of the royal family who have had these so-called conversations, so it goes on to show that their claims were a lie, and it was just used to tarnish the royal family's name. Number 7. Privileged, but plays the victim. So despite Meghan being able to gain an insane amount of wealth, fame, and a high social status through her marriage to Prince Harry, Meghan Markle often still portrays herself in podcasts, documentaries, and interviews as somebody who has been treated unfairly not only by the public but also by the royal family. And with saying this, Meghan's actions can come off as incongruous to many, as a lot of people struggle throughout life without all of the resources that Meghan possesses. While it seems clear from her media output that Meghan wants to portray herself as a strong person who got to where she is through her own efforts for her fame, it was largely achieved through her marriage, and she comes across as being insecure and vindictive when she tries to garner sympathy from the public. Number 6. Being rude to palace staff. Back in January, it was clear that the bullying charges that were brought up against Meghan from the royal staff members weren't going anywhere. Inside sources within tell Page 6 exclusively that the palace aides who quit were claiming that they were bullied by the Suits actor and that they were going to stick by their claims no matter what happened. The source would then say, "The people I spoke to are absolutely still sticking to their story, claiming that Meghan bullied them. I can't speak the truth of that, of course, because I wasn't in the same room and I haven't heard Meghan's side, but my sources still very much stick to their stories." The claims would first be brought up in 2021 after an article was posted by the Times of London that alleged the Duchess of Sussex occasionally reduced staff members to tears while she was living at Kensington Palace. The UK newspaper would then report that 2 senior members of palace staff were also bullied by Meghan to leave their jobs. "I'm very concerned that the Duchess was able to bully 2 PAs out of the household in the past year. The treatment of X was totally unacceptable. The Duchess seems intent on always having someone in her sights. She is bullying Y and seeking to undermine her confidence. We've had report after report from people who have witnessed unacceptable behavior towards her." Number 5. Jason Kanoff. Jason Kanoff joined Kensington Palace back in 2015 and became the communications secretary for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Known to be a trusted staffer, he was even asked to help with private letters to Meghan Markle's family. Jason was working with the royals at the time the allegations against the newspaper publisher were made, and just 2 months after Meghan asked for his feedback on the famous private letter to her father. Jason would turn his back on her and is said to be the person who submitted the bullying allegations to the HR department in October of 2018 that claimed Meghan was bullying royal staff members. The claims were raised to HR in a bid to get Buckingham Palace to protect the staff that Jason alleged were coming under pressure from the Duchess. A source would then also tell Times that Prince Harry also then pleaded with Jason not to pursue the bullying allegations. A month after reporting the allegations of bullying, Jason would hand in his notice and he would take up a job as an advisor to Prince William, and he is now the chief executive of the Cambridge's Royal Foundation. On top of the letter allegations Jason would hold against Meghan, he would also state that Meghan drove 2 of her personal assistants out of the household and undermined the confidence of the third one. Number 4. Brainwashing Harry. There are definitely 2 sides of this entire comedy saga, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry against the royal family. With some people agreeing with both Meghan and Harry, many more are now beginning to think that everything was planned by Meghan so she could accomplish everything she ever wanted in life. If you haven't caught on to what exactly I'm getting at, let me clear things up for you. It's to be famous, seriously. Media outlets such as Sky News and BBC have already dived into this topic and have provided evidence that Meghan has been planning all of this mess the whole time. And now they're convinced that all of the evidence they found proves that Prince Harry has been brainwashed by his wife in efforts to dismantle the royal family completely. At first glance, I get it. It may just be a giant conspiracy theory you believe only a tinfoil hat person would believe. However, the fact that Meghan Markle is using manipulation to control Harry even has Princess Diana's former bodyguard claiming that the prince isn't exactly acting like himself and you can tell that he's miserable just by the way he looks. At this point, Meghan just needs to let Harry go and admit she's using him to climb the ladder. Number 3. Establishment. It's clear that the royal family are very much on top of the British establishment, despite their reticence to respond directly to criticism in the public. They do have an enormous amount of power at their disposal. This doesn't just consist of their own wealth and status, but also includes the resources of the nation state that they are head of. With saying that, there has always been this notion that Meghan Markle was an outsider when she married into the royal family. And because of this, she herself has even stated that she has always felt like she was never truly welcome by anyone. However, a lot of people, especially people in the UK, have automatically taken the side of the royal establishment, and this translates into expressing antipathy towards Meghan, which has left her to feel like she is David and Goliath. But it hasn't exactly always been this way, as everyone used to actually love her, including the royal family, until the bullying allegations emerged, and then after that, everything took a sharp turn and we all went on the side of the royal family. But that's just how the establishment works, right? Number 2. Claiming the royal family was nasty to her. In the beginning, the royal family loved and adored Meghan, but as time went on, they found her to be not quite so nasty. nice. It's also been said that both Kate and William were huge fans of the actor because of her work in the show Suits. But with Meghan claiming that she was finding it very hard for her to fit into the royal lifestyle and that everyone was in fact really rude to her, in the beginning, we all kind of felt bad for her. However, after time went on, we soon started to realize that everything she was saying really didn't have any truth to it. The royal family did nothing but try to help her fit in to their family and this new lifestyle, to the point Queen Elizabeth even had her advisor work with Meghan to help her learn royal traditions. And after that advisor quit, Queen Elizabeth did everything she could to help Meghan feel welcome, even if she didn't like her, because she didn't want to upset her grandson who was smitten with the actress. And coming in at number 1 today, for existing. Okay, this point is a little mean, but before you call me out on it, just let me explain. Like, there's a reason why Meghan Markle is one of the most hated celebrities on the planet right now, and that's because she's a hypocrite. And everything she stands for is a giant sham. She's constantly preaching about kindness, but when her father was ill, even after all the damage he caused, when he needed her the most to be by his side, she abandoned him and cut him out of her life entirely. She and her PR team then went on to bully her father and publicly humiliate him several times despite claiming that she is anti-bullying. Not to mention she is also a humanitarian, but also has not helped her own family members struggling in poverty and abandoned most of her family members after she became famous. There's just something about her that drives us all nuts, and if she was to disappear, I mean, I think we can all agree she wouldn't be missed. Coming in number 10 today, we have Samantha Cohen. Samantha Cohen was the Queen's assistant private secretary before she moved to Kensington Palace after she was entrusted by the monarchy to prepare Meghan for life in the royal family. Originally from Australia, Miss Cohen had planned to quit Buckingham Palace back in 2018, but agreed to stay on to help Meghan navigate through her first months as a royal. Samantha was a guest at Harry and Meghan's wedding in May of 2018 and was believed to have helped play a huge role in preparing Meghan for a garden party at Buckingham Palace, which was her first appearance as the Duchess of Sussex. She left her role with the couple in October 2019 amid claims that she was experiencing extreme stress, and went on to work for the environmental charity Cool Earth before leaving the royal family. Samantha spent 18 years with the royal family and was described as being deeply committed to serving the monarchy. Jason Knopf then confirmed why Samantha had left, and she made it really clear that working for Harry and Meghan was like working for a couple of teenagers, and that they were impossible and pushed her to her limits, and that she was miserable. Number 9, Wendy Williams. Before Meghan got married or got her job on Suits, Meghan Markle applied to be on the Wendy Williams show back in 2019. Wendy would discuss Meghan's application by saying, "Meghan wanted to work here. She came here to be one of our models. We do fashion," things like that. This was before she met the man, the redhead Harry. But Meghan knows Wendy's show. Later, Wendy would say that she didn't have any sympathy for Meghan Markle after the Duchess emotionally confessed to having trouble fitting into her royal life, and that Meghan knew what she was signing up for. When Wendy shared a clip that showed Meghan saying she had no clue what getting serious with Prince Harry would mean for her future, Wendy would call out the former actress by saying, "Yes, you did. You knew exactly what you were doing," would say to the audience of her show, "And I applaud her plot action on the royal situation, but please don't try to garner sympathy from us. You knew what you were doing." Wendy then went on to say that Meghan shouldn't be surprised that the paparazzi was obsessed with her relationship as she was now a royal, and that they were not following her in Suits because no one knew who she was, and that she should have also listened to her friends before she married the prince because they were right. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming in number 8, we have Katy Perry. Just before Meghan Markle and Prince Harry moved into Katy Perry's neighborhood, Katy Perry would ignite a feud when she ultimately criticized Meghan, and it would apparently cause Meghan to hold a nasty grudge. When Meghan got married to Prince Harry on May 19, 2018, she would wear a pure white boat neck gown by designer Claire Waite Keller of French fashion house Givenchy. Just days after the wedding, Perry let everyone know that she wasn't a fan of the dress and that she would have done one that was more fitting. The California Girls artist then ended up comparing Meghan's dress to the Alexander McQueen dress Catherine wore just before she married Prince William in 2011. She would then say that Kate won. Despite her criticism of what Meghan wore, Katy would try to say that she did love the former Suits star. However, Meghan hasn't gotten over the small bit of criticism and holds a massive grudge over Katy Perry, so it's clear that Meghan just hates everyone who doesn't go along with what she is doing, and Katy Katy Perry exposed that. Number 7, cheating on Harry. Back in November of 2022, it would be hinted that there may be a divorce coming for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, with the topic being the newest scandal to hit the English royal court. Soon the media would reveal that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry would be heading towards a divorce because Meghan had cheated on the prince. In Touch would then reveal that according to an inside source, Harry would be called from the school of Archie because his wife failed to pick him up at the time of pickup time. The Duke then had to put his daughter in the car and rush to retrieve his firstborn from the school. It would then be revealed that Meghan forgot to pick up her son because she was hooking up with her bodyguard. Apparently there was also a photo that was never released in which you could see Harry returning home with the 2 children and lashing out at Meghan, who ended up acting hysterical to brainwash Prince Harry by saying several times she wanted to divorce him immediately. Number 6, Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly has never been afraid to hold back on her issues with Meghan Markle, especially when it comes to the concerns the Duchess of Sussex references to Prince Harry. During an episode of Megyn Kelly's show podcast, Kelly questioned the way Meghan referred to her husband by saying, "We get it. You bagged the gorilla. Congratulations. You got the big bear. You want us all to know." The comments would then come just one day after Meghan offered a glimpse at her home life with Harry. Also during the show, she would label Meghan as a commenter and would express her irritation she has towards Markle's repeating mentions of her own podcast that she married into the British royal family. Kelly would say there seems to be no limit on their appetite for ripping on the royals, whom they owe all of their fame to, literally most of their fortune. In the past, Kelly has also frequently criticized Meghan by claiming that she is a B-list actress and Harry is thin-skinned, and she even scorned Meghan for saying that she felt objectified when serving as the briefcase girl on the NBC game show Deal or No Deal. Number 5, reason behind the royal split. Back in January of 2021, Meghan and Harry would jointly announce that they would be exiting from the royal family. In the process, they would also announce that they would be leaving their royal duties and privileges behind so they could be more financially independent. When the couple took to their Instagram accounts to say, "We intend to step back as senior members of the royal family and work to become financially independent while continuing to support Her Majesty the Queen," the British public began to blame the Duchess rather than looking at the reasons to what drew Meghan and Harry to make this decision and take it seriously. However, after they left the royal family, Harry and Meghan did nothing to support the Queen, and instead they started signing up for interviews, documentaries, shows, even started writing books where they aired out all of the royal secrets and problems just so they can make money. And behind it all, it's clear Meghan was behind all of these business moves, as she was the one who talked majority of the time in the interviews while Harry sat there being quiet with blank facial expressions. Number 4, Camilla. Camilla tried to have a good relationship with Meghan Markle before her marriage to Prince Harry, and in the end, the Queen consort found Meghan Markle to be very disrespectful. A report would then claim that she was unable to give basic advice to Meghan because of the latter's behavior. Camilla had her own reservations about Meghan Markle much before the actor and Prince Harry tied the knot. However, Camilla chose not to voice her opinion to her stepson at the time. Since the beginning, it's said that Camilla was suspicious about the adventures from Los Angeles, and she found it really hard to believe that Meghan would sacrifice her career and independence to serve silently as a team player devoted to the monarchy. When Meghan and Harry stepped down from their royal duties, Camilla would start to refer to Meghan as a minx, because Camilla believed that Meghan was a self-seeking troublemaker whose antics would cause tears. According to palace insiders, Camilla also declared war on Meghan and even used her husband King Charles to try to stop her from becoming part of the royal family, as Camilla felt like Meghan was unfit to belong to the institution. She said Meghan has so many strikes against her and that she's unfit to become a royal. These strikes are said to include being a divorcee and a commoner, and if she had been queen at the time, she would have never allowed Meghan and Harry's union to go forward. Number 3, ruining her kids' relationship with their relatives. With Meghan and Harry running away from their royal duties and picking up their lives in another country, they have forced their children to have a failed relationship with their relatives. With Meghan and Harry not living in the UK, it suggests that their kids will never be able to develop a close relationship with their grandfather King Charles. And since they were evicted from the Frogmore cottage, they have not been offered alternative accommodations. And since they have chosen to battle with the royal family every chance they get, it suggests that they have become incredibly complicated. And if they do return to the UK, they'll be forced to stay in places that aren't secure, which could be dangerous for their well-being. With there being no news of a new counter-offer in place for the family to stay at, it suggests that the king will no longer have a tangible relationship with his two youngest grandchildren, and now their kids will be forced to grow up with no family, as Meghan has isolated not only from her family but Harry's family as well. Number 2, Erin Foster. If you don't know who Erin Foster is, she is a comedy performer and a writer who has a notorious history for blasting several celebrities on her Instagram page, and this includes Meghan Markle. However, the way she chose to shade Meghan Markle was actually pretty hilarious. In November 2017, Erin would post a photo of Meghan from her Deal or No Deal days, and she would caption the image by saying, "Never forget." Later, during another occasion, she would opt to post another image of Meghan holding a briefcase from the same show, and she would proceed to add an even more rude caption that read, "This briefcase is filled with my plans to be famous." Now, it's definitely no secret that Erin considers the princess to be nothing but a fame-hungry social climber, and fans probably should have listened to her when Meghan first started her sob story that showed no facts to back up her claims. And coming in number 1 today, we have Chrissy Swan. Back in 2017, when the whole world was swooning over Prince Harry and his American bride-to-be Meghan Markle, one person who was not a fan from the start of the Suits star was Australian TV personality Chrissy Swan, who admitted on Facebook that she wasn't able to warm to her future royal, when she said, "For some reason, I still haven't warmed to her." Chrissy would then go on to note that the reason she was so skeptical when it came to the former actress was because of her manner. She would then even note that she thought Meghan was just acting the whole time, and many people seem to have agreed with Chrissy's controversial position, with one fan saying, "I have reservations too. I'm not sure she loves the man as much as she loves the role." But it seems like Chrissy was right to have her suspicion, because Meghan does look like she's portraying a concocted humility of acting to gain sympathy from her followers. Coming at number 10 today, we have John Oliver. It seems like now that Meghan Markle and Harry have come out to speak their truth in their new documentary series, Meghan and Harry, a chillingly accurate clip of John Oliver warning Meghan Markle has started to resurface again. Back in 2018, Stephen Colbert would be left feeling slightly surprised when John Oliver wasn't excited about the then upcoming royal wedding between Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. And 5 years later, the video is actually starting to make a lot of sense. Following the CBS special, an old late night show clip featuring John giving Meghan a persistent warning by saying, "I would not blame her if she pulled out at last minute. I don't think you need to just see the pilot episode of The Crown to get a basic sense that she might be marrying into a family that could cause some emotional complications." I mean, they're an emotionally stunted group of fundamentally flawed people doing a very silly pseudo job. That's what she's marrying into. So I hope she likes it. It's going to be weird for her. At the time of the interview, John would even note that he wouldn't even want to marry into the royal family himself. But the fact that he warned the public that she might back out, and the fact that she backed out of her royal duties, is pretty shocking. That he warned us about this and then she married into the royal family anyways. Queen Elizabeth II. Even though Prince Harry and Meghan Markle made a trip to the UK in April of 2021 to visit Queen Elizabeth, it seems like the late Majesty was still less than pleased with her grandson's wife. An inside source would even come out to say Her Majesty believes Meghan and her publicity-obsessed antics pose a real threat to the monarchy. As she faced her final days, Elizabeth detests the self-centered newcomer for tearing Harry from his family to start a new life in America. The truth is, the Hollywood life has always been Meghan's dream, and Harry is her meal ticket. It was also noted that since the beginning, the Queen has always been very suspicious of Meghan, as Meghan has never been able to accept the royal rulebook. But still, because of her grandson, the Queen gave her many chances, and she hated how the Duchess of Sussex betrayed her. It was also stated that the Queen felt like Meghan used her title to gain an ambitious career in politics, which is a big no-no for the British family. After a while, even Queen Elizabeth lost patience with Meghan, as she kept thumbing her nose at the royals, and she was letting everyone know what was happening behind the palace doors. Before the Queen passed away, she was really upset that Meghan would accuse the royals of being so cruel, uncaring, racist, and that she even had the guts to diss Prince William's wife, Kate. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming in number 8, Kate Middleton. Kate Middleton will never forget how Meghan Markle treated her, but she also has no need to prolong their feud. For years, rumors have been swirling around about a row between the Princess of Wales and the Duchess of Sussex at the wedding to Prince Harry in May 2018, and ever since, the relationship between the two ladies has remained very tense, with Kate saying she found it all to be very mortifying when she heard Meghan was claiming that she actually made Meghan cry during a row over the bridesmaid dresses. Kate has never wanted any suggestion of a rift with Meghan to come out to the press, so when Meghan started circulating lies about their relationship, it was really hard for Kate to deal with, and she did everything she could to keep her feelings private. While inside sources have claimed that Kate and Meghan both have very different versions of the story, she feels like she's not in the position to respond, as she thought it was all sorted out, and now Meghan's airing out all this dirty laundry, and it's just mortifying for Kate. Number 7, the steamy kiss with her colleague in Suits. Now before Meghan got with Prince Harry, she got her first big role in the show Suits, and while it may have been a big role for the actress, many still don't know what Suits is because, let's face it, the show was filmed in Canada, and many people just don't like Canadian films, even though some of them are actually fire. Meghan played paralegal Rachel Zane on the show for 7 seasons from 2011 to 2018, and during the years on the show, the actress was involved in some very steamy scenes that definitely did not sit well with Prince Harry, and I can see why he wished he never googled his wife in the first place to find her secrets. To kick things off, Rachel and her co-star in the 2nd season. Rachel would share a steamy kiss with her colleague Mike Ross, who is played by Patrick J. Adams. The pair were fully aware he was in a relationship with Jenny Griffiths at the time, who happened to be the ex-girlfriend of Mike's old best friend. But that didn't stop Rachel from leaning in for a passionate snog, which happened in a brief look in the eye and an arm grab. Now fans watching wouldn't be particularly surprised by the kiss, as Mike and Rachel had a bunch of steamy moments that gave all fans this hint that the two were going to jump into a relationship at some point. Number 6, King Charles. With Prince Harry and Meghan Markle continuing to air out the royal family grievances despite making a few attempts to repair their relationship with the royal family after the Queen's passing, the main issue at play seems to be the ongoing release of their various media projects. With Harry's book and the couple's docu-series being released, it has caused some major tensions between the royals. And Charles has been left feeling pretty betrayed when it comes to Meghan's actions. If you don't recall, during Meghan's and Harry's wedding in 2018, Meghan's father couldn't attend, so she asked Charles if he would walk her down the aisle, and he would agree to Meghan's request because he's always actually been quite fond of her in the beginning. But now he's actually just somehow bewildered. The Queen was used to handling this kind of thing, and it didn't really throw her as much as it's thrown Charles, and understandably, it's because his son and daughter-in-law have been saying some pretty hurtful things. That was actually just really uncalled for, especially when the royal family actually did so much for them, and they did so much to help Meghan transition into her royal duties, and she was just so ungrateful towards the whole process, and it seems like she just never wanted to learn how to follow the royal ways. Number 5, the X-rated romp in the office scenes in Suits. When Mike Ross and Rachel Zane finally had their first official date on Suits, it would end up with the two having a pretty sizzling moment in Pearson Hardman Legal Library, where Mike strips Rachel down to her underwear in the throes of passion. Meghan's and Patrick J. Adams' characters stripped off as they got hot and sweaty in the most raunchy scene during the 2nd season. The sizzling scene in episode 16 was probably one of the most iconic moments in Suits, as it was the moment we all were waiting for. And I understandably can see why maybe Harry wanted to never see this scene personally, because the chemistry in the scene alone was enough to send any partner into a frenzy of worry that there was something happening, not just on screen, but there might have been something happening behind the screen as well. The scene was so saucy, it was probably one of the most widely shared clips of the series, and it would be unearthed once again after Meghan and Harry started dating. As no one really wanted to believe Meghan would end up with anyone other than Patrick, that's probably why a lot of fans didn't support her relationship with Harry to begin with. Number 4, Jeremy Clarkson. Back in December, Jeremy Clarkson would publish a very misogynistic article about Meghan in The Sun, where he wrote that he hated the Duchess Duchess of Sussex on a cellular level. In the article, Jeremy would reference a famous scene from Game of Thrones where he wrote, "At night, I'm unable to sleep as I lie there grinding my teeth and dreaming of the day when Meghan Markle is made to parade naked through the streets of every town in Britain while the crowds chant shame and throw lumps of excrement at her." In a tweet published after the article was released, Jeremy would call it a clumsy reference to the scene in Games of Thrones and acknowledge that it had gone down badly with a number of different people. Jeremy would then say, "I was horrified to cause so much hurt and I shall be more careful in the future." His article would come with the release of Meghan and Harry's Netflix docuseries, in which the couple would open up about the social media threats they received in recent years. Jeremy's article would then spark near immediate backlash from Brits as Jeremy let his feelings about Meghan and Harry loose. Coming in number 3, we have the sizzling scene in the bedroom in Suits. In the early days of Meghan's relationship, Harry definitely made the worst mistake of all when he looked up one particularly sizzling scene in the bedroom from the show Suits. The scene would scare Harry so much that he even made a joke that he needed to undergo electric shock therapy just to burn the images from his brain. It's clear that Meghan and Patrick, during any of the scenes, they had passionate and a playful time together. And while it's been said that Harry lusted over her for 2 years before they actually met, as he was a big fan of the show, imagine dating someone who had such a powerful connection with their co-star. In this particular saucy scene from the hit series Suits, Mike and Rachel spiced things up in the bedroom when Mike began to run his fingers up Meghan's leg before the pair playfully slipped under the sheets in a suggestive manner. It really didn't take two to figure out what was actually going on. However, before things got a little too racy, the actress stopped him and the pair just began flirting and kissing. Rachel's love story with Mike has been a big draw for fans across all 7 seasons she was on the show for, and it was a long road that was filled with drama and emotion. Every snog left us all memorized, and as the show went on, the two just turned up their flirty banter and neck kisses, and just the cheeky charm alone was enough to make anyone's heart flutter. Number 2, Piers Morgan. Meghan Markle has been dubbed as being manipulative and controlling by Piers Morgan, who slammed the Duchess after the prince addressed the United Nations on Nelson Mandela Day. In his opinion, the Good Morning Britain would claim that Meghan was doing everything she could to socially climb the ladder, and it's clear that she is actually a ridiculous, two-faced sham. The brutal takedown from Piers would come right after Meghan won her bombshell privacy legal battle with the publisher of the Mail over a letter she wrote to her estranged father. Meghan has previously won the case but gained a second victory after the publisher fought for an appeal in the case. Well, Meghan described it not only being a victory for her, but for anyone who felt scared to stand up for what's right. In a powerful statement afterwards, throughout the privacy case, there had been a number of bombshell moments from the news that Meghan drafted the letter to her dad knowing that it could be leaked. However, Piers would hit back at Meghan's claims and he would mock her for impersonating some kind of letter day Winston Churchill rallying a nation in wartime rather than an unemployed actress fleecing her unelected marital royal status for gazillions from her California mansion. Number 1, Bethany Frankel. Bethany Frankel is always doubling down on her criticism of Meghan Markle as she claims that Meghan has painted herself into a corner following her royal exit. Bethany has said, "Timing is everything. Don't believe you owe BS. And play chess, not checkers." Bethany has also claimed that Meghan caused herself to be in a terrible situation when she and Prince Harry stepped down from their senior royal duties in 2020, and that she effed it all up when it came to her whole life outside of the royal bubble. Bethany would also note that Meghan is a polarizing person, and that we shouldn't get it twisted, as Meghan is very much like a housewife and she can't stop talking about very things she wants to be, and that is to be irrelevant. Bethany would also state when Meghan left the royal family, she should have learned something, and that's if she wanted to leave the royal family, she should have just left the royal family, but instead we see her talking about the royal family in every single interview. But she never wanted to participate in the royal family game until she left the royal family and made it her own game. It honestly takes more energy not to forgive, but Meghan continues to hold on to her judges and expose the royal family in very condescending ways. Coming in number 10, we we have the raunchy car scene from Beverly Hills 90210. If there was one scene Harry wished he never saw, it would be the one that came 2 years after Meghan Markle left her Deal or No Deal gig. She would make a cameo in the hit series Beverly Hills 90210 for a pretty raunchy car scene with a high school hunk. When the former actress appeared in the premiere episode of the Beverly Hills 90210 reboot, which aired in 2008, her character was caught getting frisky in the front seat of a car with co-star Dustin Milligan, who played Ethan. Her character Wendy and Ethan were seen enjoying their intimate moment in broad daylight before being caught by Annie Wilson, who played Shanae Grimes. Annie is particularly shocked as Ethan already has a girlfriend, Naomi Clark, who is played by Annalyn McCord. Since the clip has resurfaced, many people have been calling Markle a hypocrite as she left one bimbo gig for another. Markle was reportedly hesitant to reenact the scene for the role, but despite wanting a career that didn't objectify women years earlier, she would book the gig anyways. Markle would then claim that she quit Deal or No Deal in 2006 because she didn't like being objectified by sucking in her stomach and wearing fake lashes and hair extensions. Meghan alleged her experience has since caused an uproar over her treatment, as that's TV. What did you think was going to happen? You know, that's what the show was, and that's probably why Harry is having a hard time after watching these scenes. Number 9. The bedroom scene in Random Encounters. One of the scenes Harry wasn't so particular about when it came to Meghan's former acting career would come years earlier before her relationship with Prince Harry, and it would actually be the role that thrusted her into the spotlight. The role in question was when Meghan was given the part in a little-known film called Random Encounters. The scenes from the 2013 rom-com show featured Meghan being shown slipping into silky lingerie, and then she would be seen having an intimate moment with a male co-star. While in character, Meghan would then be set to play Mindy, who was known to be a bed-hopping party girl. In one particular raunchy scene, Meghan could be seen undressing her co-star Michael as her character was trying to make a move in the dimly lit apartment. After the show was first released in the US, the movie would then be released on DVD in the UK for the first time in May of 2018, less than 2 weeks before Meghan was set to marry Prince Harry on their wedding day. Well, I can only guess this was when Harry first watched the scene. This doesn't throw you red flags that maybe you shouldn't be marrying someone, then I don't know what else to say. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming number 8, we have Meghan cheating. So back in November, the tabloids report that a divorce may be headed towards Prince Harry and Meghan Markle shortly. However, considering that the two enjoy being miserable together, it seems pretty unlikely at this point. The new scandal at the English royal court would reveal that Harry would receive a call from Archie's school after his wife hadn't shown up to pick him up. Meghan apparently forgot about Archie because she was too busy doing something else with her bodyguard, Chris Sanchez. And the incident would leave Prince Harry furious, at least. Soon there would then be also a photo which has not been released yet, and the photo, sources would say, you could see Prince Harry, who had just returned home with his 2 children, lashing out at Meghan, who was hysterical and would say several times that she wanted to divorce him immediately. And while this could just be a rumor, it's kind of hard to believe that the story isn't true, since she once cheated on Canadian chef Corey Vitiello and wouldn't even break up with him until after news outlets reported that she was dating Prince Harry. So I'll let you do the math and decide if Meghan really cheated or not. Number 7, Prince William. A friend of Kate Middleton has claimed that Prince William absolutely hates Meghan Markle. In an explosive interview with the Daily Beast, the unnamed friend of Princess of Wales shared just how much Prince William dislikes Meghan and blames her for his falling out with Prince Harry. The source would go on to say the family blames Meghan for it all. Really, they absolutely hate her. Basically, it's a huge disaster. The insider continued to say, growing up, the brothers were so close. They lost their mom and their dad was disengaged. So they had this incredible bond. Everyone knew it. And then Meghan came along, everyone warned him off, but he wouldn't listen, and she just ripped him away. The bond is gone, completely gone, and this film is the latest betrayal. Now William really hates them both, and the friend would state further that it was really toxic and destructive for them all at the end of the day because they were family, and that their whole family has been ruined by Meghan. Number 6, daddy issues. Since finding out about Meghan's daddy issues, Prince Harry has been blaming himself as he feels like he's the reason why Meghan Markle no longer has a relationship with her father, Thomas Markle. In the Harry and Meghan Netflix docu-series, Harry would say, of course, it's incredibly sad what happened. She had a father before this, now she doesn't have a father. I shouldered that, because if Meg wasn't with me, then her dad would still be her dad. It's amazing what people will do when offered a huge amount of money, $50,000, $100,000, to hand over photographs to create a story. Thank God, most of them said no. After Thomas originally made headlines in 2018, he ultimately didn't attend his daughter's wedding, and just days before the ceremony, he would announce that he was unable to fly to England to attend. Following Harry and Meghan's big move to the United States, the former actress would then also know that she lost her father after becoming a royal, as her father had the inability to tell her the truth about the paparazzi photos. Finding out about Meghan's broken relationship with her family definitely had a huge impact on Harry, as he feels responsible that he is the reason behind her family icing her out, and it's been a huge impact for him to deal with. Number 5, Sharon Osbourne. Sharon Osbourne has never been afraid to share her opinions on Harry and Meghan, although at times she has defended the couple in the past. She has even gone as far to say she felt sorry for them at one point, to make a full 180 calling out the couple for their disrespectful docu-series. Sharon is absolutely done with Meghan playing the victim, as she believes that instead, Meghan should be using her platform to raise awareness for her charity rather than the way she has been treated by the media and the royal family. Sharon will go on to say that Meghan's actions are trash, and that all she ever talks about is how she is treated poorly because of her race and how she acts. Sharon will go on to note that Meghan should instead be grateful because she has a great life, a beautiful family, and she's very much in love and needs to get a life and move on already. With every interview Meghan and Harry do, it seems like all they do is whine about how there's no positive points to any of their stories or proof to back up their stories, so for the most part, Sharon just thinks they're lying. While the press may be hard on Meghan when she came to England, they're hard on so many people, including the rest of the royal family. Number 4, Family Feud. The humiliation for Meghan and Harry really started after Meghan started to speak against the royal family. And at this point, it seems like Harry would just do anything to forget Meghan even started the battle with his family in the first place. If Meghan never told Harry that she was fighting with his family or having a tough time, they would probably still be in the royal family doing their royal duties, but instead, now they're being iced out completely. At the height of their feud with the royal family, they have unleashed almost all their darkest secrets, and their Netflix documentary has been described as being a great betrayal. With the two playing a part to gain sympathy, what we really ended up witnessing is a narcissistic, egotistical, privileged outpouring of a couple that is bent on getting revenge. Shamefully, it seems like Meghan has cornered Prince Harry to throw his brother, father, and even his grandmother under a big red double-decker bus just so he can make his wife happy. However, it's clear that Harry is miserable and he just wants his family back. In Harry's new book, he would speak about various incidents and issues that he perceived that have caused the irreparable relationship between his father, brother, him, and Meghan. Because of Meghan, Harry has turned his family life into an episode of The Kardashians. While Harry may want his family back, if Meghan never told him how she felt about his family, he probably wouldn't be in the situation he is today, and he would still be in their lives. But Americans make things so dramatic for no reason whatsoever. Number 3, Howard Stern. US radio host Howard Stern has slammed both Prince Harry and Meghan Markle over their new docu-series, branding them as whiny bees. When the first 3 episodes arrived on the Netflix platform, it would feature revelations about everything from the couple's first date, Princess Diana, and supposed racism in the UK. However, Howard was clearly not impressed with the series, and he would criticize the pair, saying, "The show is very weird for two people who have historically pleaded for privacy." The couple who stepped away as royals have been able to retain their royal titles, and they have consistently issued statements arguing privacy was not the reason they quit the royal family. Stern would then question the motivation behind the series, which he described as being like watching the Kardashians, except it was boring to watch. Howard would say, "It's been painful. I wouldn't stay with it, but my wife wants to watch it. You know, we have shows that we watch, but they come off like such whiny bees. I gotta tell you, I just don't get it. There's nothing real about the relationship from the beginning to end. Those two whining about why, and they don't like me, and she wants to be beloved in this country. Man, oh man. It's just very weird to watch two people screaming. We wanted our privacy. We wanted the press to leave us alone. But then we saw them all release everything about their lives on Netflix, so Howard, I personally just don't get it either. Number 2, mental health struggles. One thing has been clear is Prince Harry really wishes his wife didn't tell him about her mental health struggles because he really didn't know how to deal with it. In Volume 2, Episode 4 in the Netflix docuseries Harry and Meghan, the Duchess would recall having some really dark thoughts surrounding her life while at the height of her tensions with the rest of the royal family, and it consists of attacks from the British press, and Prince Harry would go on to say that he wishes he could go back in time and change the way he reacted to Meghan's mental health struggles when they were still living as senior royals because he really didn't know how to help her. Meghan's depression battle would remind Harry of what he saw happen to his own mother, Princess Diana, who openly struggled with her mental health while working as a senior royal, and it upset him even more because he didn't stop it before it escalated. Harry would go on to say that he was devastated because he knew she was struggling and that he never thought it would get to that stage, and when it did get to that stage and Meghan told him about it, he just felt really angry and ashamed. While Harry has also admitted that he thought he understood Meghan's struggle, he also feels as though he was blinded by his commitment to royal duties at the time, so he didn't give Meghan the support she needed, and since the prince really hasn't been dealing with it particularly well. And number 1 today we have the passionate embrace in Suits. So the protagonist love interest Meghan played in Suits has caused her husband to discuss and express his discomfort after seeing her X-rated scenes, with Harry saying that he witnessed her and her castmate mauling each other in some sort of office or conference room. He really didn't need to see such things live. In season 5 footage from the show Suits, it would show Meghan wearing a skimpy little black slip as she engaged in a passionate embrace with her on-screen boyfriend Mike Ross. The unearthed footage would then show Meghan's character Rachel Zhang cozying up to her on-screen boyfriend Mike between the sheets. While Meghan laid in the bed wearing the skimpy black slip, she can also be seen chatting to her on-screen lover in the bed before they became entangled in a passionate embrace. With Harry's new book opening up about his life and giving new insights to the royal family, it's clear that Harry might just not trust Meghan because of her saucy scenes with her co-star, and he may be left feeling worried that his wife had feelings for another man, but it seems like he was able to get these images out of his head since Patrick, after all, was in the front row at their wedding.